What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be playing a game on PTCGO today with Azul's second place Reshiram and Charizard deck featuring Arcanine and Miltank. Was able to finish second place at the Madison Wisonsin Regional Championships, losing to Ian Rob's Blacephalon GX deck. Blacephalon ended up being a great call for the tournament. Blacephalon's mind-blown attack, great at taking out these powerful 3-prize attackers that many decks have a challenge dealing with. Also, with Zapdos seeing less play because of the fear of stall decks, Blacephalon was really able to sneak in there and be a perfect meta call for the Madison Regional Championships. Now, stall did not see any success at Madison, which is interesting because I do consider it to be a top deck, but I think that most players had teched for stall at the Madison Regional Championships. We see that Azul is playing the Arcanine in his deck, which is great as a non-GX attacker, but also for taking out that Vileplume from Burning Shadows. See that he's also playing the Jirachi engine in this list, which is great for getting quick starts and also for just having targets to hide behind while you set up your Eevee and Snorlax and your Reshiram and Charizard. You can afford to give up 1 or 2 copies of Jirachi and then still make your opponent go through 2 Tag Team Pokemon GX. And Azul was able to use that strategy all the way to the finals here. We see that we do have very powerful start, 2 Jirachi in my opening hand, an Escape Board, and a Kiawe. So I will gladly get both of these Jirachis down and then see what my opponent is playing before I commit too many Pokemon to the bench. We also got a Kiawe to get things started, not a card that we saw seeing play in Kian Amini's Charizard list that he used at the previous regional championship, Santa Clara in California. So interesting to see that Kiawe coming back. I think Kiawe is a lot of times your best turn 1 supporter for the Reshiram and Charizard deck. Now, this list does not play any traditional draw supporters. We're using Welder in order to get the party started here, and then Dedenne-GX and that Day-Day Change ability in order to discard your hand and draw 6 if we need to. So it is kind of an interesting deck to pilot in that we don't get to do things like Cynthia or Lily turn 1. We're usually looking for a turn 1 Kiawe, followed by Welders and Guzmas. Really all we are looking to do. I have found that in my first few games playing this deck, it can sometimes be hard to get your hands on energy that you need when you need it, because you are at the whim of your Stellar Wishes. You can't actually Stellar Wish for an energy. You need to find either a Fiery Flint or a copy of Fire Crystal in order to get those fire energies out of the discard pile later in the game. And you can't use Stellar Wish all the time if you've got a Reshiram and Charizard in the active position. We see that my opponent choosing to deal with this problem with Viridian Forest. So I will definitely be making use of that. And the goal here in this mirror match is going to be to get an early Kiawe onto my own Reshiram and Charizard, attach an energy, get a 5 energy Reshiram Charizard, and then go for a turn to Guzma Double Blaze GX for 300 damage on their Reshiram and Charizard. It looks like they're getting Welder turn 1. So that is fine. Better to have a Welder than a turn 1 Kiawe for me, because that means that they're probably not going to be able to target down and KO my benched Reshiram and Charizard this turn. This list, the DDG list, is not playing any, let's see, we're going to go in with Nest Ball. It's not playing any copies of Choice Band. No way to KO an opposing Reshiram and Charizard without actually using Double Blaze GX. So the other KO on a Reshiram Charizard is going to have to come from a 2-hit KO here. And I will also gladly Viridian away that Eevee Snorlax. I do not imagine myself using that. And now that I've thinned my deck, going to go in with a Stellar Wish. And just another switch is probably good so that I have multiple outs to get a turn 2 Guzma, and then I'm just going to retreat into my other Jirachi, Stellar Wish one more time, attach my energy, and then Kiawe. Really like having the, let's see, Fiery Flint, probably not super necessary. Welder, probably not super necessary, but I think having the Welder, the Fiery Flint, just to have something different. I already have Welder, I already have Kiawe, I already have Switch. So now we have a pretty diverse hand. Just going to attach the energy and then Kiawe. Next turn, I'm going to be looking for that Guzma. I already have a Fire Energy in hand. I can just use Stellar Wish, switch into another Jirachi, Stellar Wish again, and then look for Guzma on this Reshiram Charizard. Now, they may decide to just bring this bad boy up and KO my Jirachi, which would be a bold move for sure. But that would just bring the Charizard into harm's way, so I don't anticipate that they'll do that. They may find their own Guzma and decide to just hit into my Reshiram and Charizard, but that also feels bad for them. If they Flare Strike me, I'm going to be able to Outrage for 260. Unfortunately, I don't play Choice Band, so I can't actually punish them for that. They could decide to just end the turn here with a Kiawe, which I think is probably their best bet. If they can bench a new Reshiram and Charizard and Kiawe to it, that's probably their best strategy if I had to say so. Build up multiple Charizards. And we can see how this mirror match is definitely just jockeying for position here behind these Jirachis. And now that my opponent has had to Kiawe to the same Charizard that they weldered to turn 1, we should just be good to go, finding a Guzma off of 2 Stellar Wishes here. But I do agree that they should not have brought that Charizard in the active position. So definitely with them on that. Let's see what we can do. Can Fiery Flint to thin my deck even more, make sure that I get the most value out of these Stellar Wishes, get all 4 of those energies out, and give myself the highest probability of finding this Guzma here with Stellar Wish. We got Ultra Ball, Switch. I think I'm going to grab the Ultra Ball first. And I can Ultra Ball for another Jirachi or something like that, which would be fine. We can use, oh, Lele. We're just going to go grab that. And then we could just grab Guzma. And it's going to be simple as that. Only 2 Guzmas in the deck, but going to be the game-winning card here for me. We've got 6 energy now. I can go Tapu Lele. Going to grab that Guzma we need. Guzma up the Reshiram Charizard. And actually switch into my Jirachi first, since it can Stellar Wish with that Escape Board on it. And, yep, not surprised here. They're going to go ahead and scoop it up because they only had 1 Reshiram Charizard, and we were about to take it out of the game. So we see definitely a straightforward strategy, but Jirachi proving to be an excellent partner for Reshiram and Charizard. And this list also plays 4 copies of Switch. So, and at least a couple Escape Board as well. So we do have that mobility with the Jirachis and plenty of opportunities to Stellar Wish throughout the course of the game. We got another powerful starting hand here. And my opponent's starting off with the well played. Wow, they must be pretty confident. Not going to bench any of these other Pokemon here because I don't want to give my opponent a way to get my Reshiram Charizard out of the active position. It looks like they might be playing Malamar, which could be a tough matchup for me if they're able to get set up quickly because they can one-hit KO these Reshiram and Charizard. Yes, I will take my mulligans and go ahead and see what my opponent's got going on. This does look like Malamar featuring Jirachi, and what a great starter for them, Stellar Wish, with the Escape Board. If I could start Jirachi every game that I played a Malamar deck, I would probably have different feelings about the deck in general, but definitely off to a good start here with Ditto Prism Star on their bench. Makes me wonder what kind of secret tech do they have going on in their list that is going to help them in this matchup. I think that potentially it could be a Slowking. They are playing a Malamar Shrine deck, so it looks like we are going to be leaning on our... Wow, they also got Absol, and it makes me wonder, you know, where are you going to put your Malamars? Where are you going to put your attackers? It's all good, though. I think that the Ditto probably evolves into a Slowking if I had to guess, that they can use to one-hit KO my Reshiram and Charizard GX. We've got a lot going on here. I'm going to start off with an Fiery Flint, I think. I think to thin the deck as much as possible, I kind of want to just go in and I can definitely GX them. I could just sit down, splash this Jirachi, but I don't think that that's going to be the best strategy here. Eevee and Snorlax does seem like my optimal attacker, but I want to attack turn 1 as well. So attacking quickly does seem very strong. Let's go ahead and Fiery Flint. I have a Fire Crystal as well in the hand, so we're just going to get 4 energies out of the deck. Getting the Arcanine also seems good. And then we'll Acro Bike, looking for a Nest Ball. Hey, there we go. We've got Nest Ball, so I can... no, I don't need Nest Ball. I got a Reshiram Charizard. We're looking for a Welder. So let's see. We need to probably Nest Ball for another Jirachi. That's fine. And then if I can find a copy of Welder, that would be great. We do have Welder, so I'm ready to go with this Reshiram and Charizard. And we could just attach, do the thing, draw some cards. Feels pretty good. And hopefully they don't have any sort of crazy response to my Reshiram and Charizard here, turn 2. He is kind of in harm's way, but that seems fine. I do really like taking this Jirachi out of the equation. So let's just switch into my Reshiram Charizard, and we're going to GX this Jirachi for 400 damage. All right, seems pretty good. Not going to bench anything else right now, just using that GX attack and carrying on. We may be able to pivot to a non-GX attacker. We could use the Volcanion, we could use maybe the Arcanine, but as it is right now, I want to just kind of wait and see what my opponent actually has going on. And they've promoted the Ditto, which makes me kind of scared. Like, what are you going to do with that thing, with your almighty evolution? Definitely a unique Malamar list that I'm looking at, so I don't want to make any judgments about what they have in their deck. I think that they might be promoting the Ditto, though, just because it only has 1 retreat, and they were planning on evolving the Malamars here. And as you can see, they do have the Escape Board on the Ditto. I imagine that they're just going to retreat into Jirachi, and are not actually going to be launching an attack this turn, which is going to give me a chance to take multiple prizes with my Reshiram and Charizard before we really feel any pressure from my opponent's deck. I think our next order of business here is going to be to maybe get the Growlithe out into play. Growlithe and Arcanine should be able to one-hit KO most of what they're going to be throwing at me, since it doesn't appear that this is going to be a GX-oriented list. Giratina is really the toughest opponent that I'm going to see, and as we could see, that guy's hitting the bench right now and is going to start getting some energy acceleration from these Malamars. Might actually even get attacked this turn if they have, I was going to say, a switch and a psychic energy, but they do not. So we have another turn here to go. I really do want some sort of draw. I think the Dedenne-GX could be what we're going to see coming down the line here. I do have a Tapu Lele-GX as well, and I have prized my Growlithe. So Arcanine not going to be a great option for us, though I do want to start charging up somebody else. So I think we also, let's see, we have a Reshiram Charizard in the deck. I think probably Eevee Snorlax is going to be, well, he only does 120, so we actually kind of need to go double Charizard here. So I'm just going to probably pass on that because I had 3 more bench spots. We want maybe Lele, maybe Dedenne, Miltank. Yeah, we're cool on that Nest Ball. All right. How many fires I got in the discard pile? 3. We can go Ultra Ball, away Volcanion, and Jirachi. Get ourselves Tapu Lele-GX and start using Welder here to get more energy into play. I think that probably seems reasonable. We're going to Flare Strike since we cannot, cannot GX again. So we need to Flare Strike. We can't Outrage for, well, actually I could Outrage for Knockout. We will Outrage for Knockout. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to bench this Reshiram Charizard Lele for something else. Yes, a Welder. Seems good. And accelerate onto this benched Reshiram Charizard. And then we're going to be looking to probably pull off some switch shenanigans so that we can start healing with our Miltank here. Coming down the line, Outrage is doing like 100 to this Jirachi, so we're cool here. And then next turn, we'll show off the Miltank, see if we can switch into Miltank, find a Guzma, something like that. My opponent giving me the well played again. They must be very confident with their ability to deal some significant damage to this Reshiram and Charizard this turn. I don't think that they're going to be one-hit KOing it. I think this is a two-hit KO strategy that we're looking at. They might play spell tags, which is something that I do see pretty often in the Psychic Malamar decks, either spell tag or choice band. But even then, Shadow Impact is not going to be dealing one-hit KO damage. So still a mystery as to what that Ditto Prism Star is going to be over there, which is pretty fascinating. We need to pull off a Miltank right about now. So really wishing that I could have seen a Escape Board or Switch or Guzma off that top deck. We don't really have that as an option right now. And we don't have a whole lot else going on, so it kind of is a feel bad. I might be just saving. See, I could retreat. Yeah, we might just be saving the saving the Miltank strategy for this second Reshiram and Charizard here that we build up. I just don't really want to Dedenne-GX. Gonna attach return. I need another switch card. We just don't really have it right now, and I can't GX again, and I have no way to pivot out of these Jirachis. I could retreat into Jirachi, hope I hit like a Welder or something off of my Stellar Wish, and then switch into Reshiram Charizard, hit him with a new one. But I think I'm just going to Outrage here. If this Charizard trades 3 for 3, I'm like okay with that. And I think that's just what we got going on. Probably should have benched the Miltank there. I've been waiting to kind of reveal that, but I think benching the Miltank there would have been ideal because then I could have just promoted it, healed my Reshiram Charizard, and then switched out of it, which would have been good. And we see that my opponent is pinging my benched Charizard here. This guy needs to go the distance. I desperately need some more switches out of the deck. Escape Board's not really going to do anything for me, though, since Absol's Dark Ambition does give my Jirachis more retreat cost. Really just want more switches, more Guzmas, things like that. We can see my opponent still just chugging along here, about to catch up in prizes for sure with this Shadow Impact, and that's fine. We do have switch in hand, so I'll probably just promote this Jirachi, look for another card, and go from there. Still a mystery. No idea what you're going to be there, Ditto, but it's cool. Just hanging out. Our Reshiram Charizard's got 220 hit points left. Absolutely insane. We got double switch as well, which is great. That is what we have been looking for. So let's Stellar Wish, see what we can find. Ultra Balls, Acro Bikes. Feel like Acro Bike, probably good. Let Loose could also be good at this point. I'm just going to grow my hand size, though. Not really looking to do too much else. So we'll Acro Bike. Finding another switch seems pretty busted. So we'll take that. The Heat Factory also very good. Counters their Shrine. Does help keep our Reshiram Charizard going, but we got to imagine that they just have another. I think I keep the Switch. The Switch seems more valuable to me than the E-Factory because this deck, it'll probably play multiple Shrine. So bumping it for one turn, like how much am I really doing there? Whereas if I got Miltank, going to be able to do a lot more. So we got attach and can go there. I'm probably going to, if I double switch, then I have one more switch left. I could double switch, heal 90. I probably want to get more mileage. I mean, we could do that. That's fine. Bench the Miltank. That's cool. Switch. And we're just going to take this knockout with Flare Strike. Go from there. I think I'm looking for a Welder. I need to pull off like the Switch Welder play. So we could do that in order to fully heal our Reshiram Charizard this next turn. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I only got 2 prizes remaining. They're going to hit in for a lot of damage, but I don't think that they have what it takes to deal 210 to my Reshiram Charizard. If they do, well, oh well, I did my best. But I don't think that they do. I think that they're just going to ping some guys again, swing into the Reshiram Charizard. I'm going to go, with my Miltank and try to heal a bunch, and that's kind of going to be it. Now, the Dedenne-GX, definitely an interesting part of the equation here. I really want to find the Welder before I Dedenne-GX. I mean, it's just like I got both switches and the fire energies in my hand, so I could switch into Miltank. If I just have Welder, I can use the Welder, heal 180, and go from there. We'll see if they do anything tricky, though. If they Guzma, or if they're trying to set up a third Malamar here, could also be what we see. Not sure. They don't have a lot of bench space. I mean, with the Jirachi and the Absol both on their bench, it's not really any room to play around with different strategies. It looks like they're looking for Viridian here. Just going to discard that second Giratina. They might be looking to, I guess, try to fix up some of this math over here, but I don't think it really matters too much unless they're going for a Guzma play here with this Jirachi. It looks like that is what they're doing. So maybe they will try to take out my Miltank, which I was, okay. Looks like they're going to take out my Tapu Lele. I now desperately need to find a let loose to try and keep them from finding the game-winning Guzma on my Jirachis. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay, well, let's see. They've got 1 prize left to take. My Jirachi's very weak at this point. So let's see what we can do here. Nestball, take a look at the deck real quick. Not too much else. I've got, yeah, Let Loose is going to be what we're looking for sure. So let's see what we can find. Stellar Wish, got the Ultra Ball, great. So we can let loose. Think I can switch into Miltank, fully heal with Moo Moo Malt, and then switch back into Reshiram Charizard. Ultra Ball, looking for, guess I can discard these. Looking for that let loose, and hopefully we can stop them. They are going to have a Stellar Wish as well to help them dig, but limiting their hand size is definitely my best option to try and keep them from having it. I could also Guzma here. I think I've attached for turn already, so we could go Guzma. Let's Viridian away this Fiery Flint. See, I've attached for turn. We could go for Guzma, but I can't actually give any of my guys free retreat. So let's see, because I believe I'm out of switches. I didn't see any switches in there when I went to look. And that Absol is going to prevent any of my guys from retreating for free. So I would, as much as I'd like to, I would like to take out that Jirachi, limit their potential to have it, but I don't think that I can. Yeah, let's just Flare Strike and see what they got. They either got it or they don't. I don't think that I could afford to Guzma there because I've already attached. So just is what it is. They're going for the Guzma. They need the energy, which they have guaranteed with Viridian. And I expect that they'll probably find it. They may already have it in hand. We see them going for the Distortion Door. No secrets here about the strategy that they're going for. Really hope I get to see something spicy come off this Ditto Prism Star. I mean, he's been sitting there all game. He's got the Psychic Recharges happening. Show me the Guzma. Show it to me. That's fine. We kind of, playing against these non-GX decks can be very tough. Not having access to the Arcanine. Big sad as well. And they did not end up needing the Jirachi anyway to get the Guzma. Just had it naturally in hand. So well played to my opponent. And we're going to take an L there. So that is it. The Reshiram and Charizard deck that Azul used to finish second place at the Madison Regional Championships, losing to Blacephalon in the finals. Definitely a powerhouse of a deck. Does struggle with some non-GX decks, though, as we can see. Having to turn through 6 prizes worth of non-GX attackers can be tough for our big 3-prize Reshiram and Charizard GXs. We do play the Miltank to try and help with that, and it is a big help. I will definitely say that. This card is able to work wonders against non-GX decks like Zapdos. If you hit into Reshiram Charizard for 80, I heal at 90. I completely negate what you did last turn. So that is phenomenal. Definitely a straightforward and powerful deck, something to look out for at the North American International Championships. And thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to check out FullGripGames.com, where we have a huge selection of Pokemon trading card game singles, old and new, Unbroken Bonds, codes, what have you. It's all on FullGripGames.com. Big shout out to my Blastoise tier Patreon sub, Jedi, as well. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to check me out every weekday live on twitch.tv/TrickyJim as well. Been streaming a ton on Twitch. So thank you to everybody who's checked me out and given me a follow there as well. Y'all rock. Have a great day. Peace.